Welcome to Catholic Mom Mindset, a daily show where you learn to walk closely with the Holy Spirit so you can live the life God is calling you to. I'm your host, Sterling Jaquith. Let us begin.
I want to talk about gratitude because that gets thrown around a lot. But I think because it gets thrown around in some weird ways that aren't very effective, then we have kind of a non-transformational experience with it, and then we brush it to the side and we don't think about it anymore. So forever and ever, and I read that 1,000 Things, Ann Voskamp book, Thousands in the title. And basically she talks about expressing gratitude for everything around you. And it's a beautiful book. It's written almost like poetry, so you either like that or you don't. I don't think it's objectively good or bad. It's just a style of writing that's very flowery and poetic. But she talks about really just soaking up all of the things around you and being grateful for them. So for me right now, I would just be so grateful for this office. I would be so grateful for the internet. I'd be so grateful for this webcam that's recording me right now so that I could do this work. I would express gratitude for you who are listening to me right now, right? Just breaking down all of these things. And there is something powerful about writing things down. Writing down what we want, writing down what we're working on, and writing down what we're grateful for. But I think having been a life coach and learning more about how the brain works, the missing piece is that it has to actually create a state change in your body. Because even when I said that and I was like, oh, I could be grateful for the webcam that's recording me right now, I didn't feel grateful in my body. I didn't feel bad. I probably felt like a little boop, like, oh yeah, that's cool. But I didn't feel like a deep sense of gratitude. Whereas I don't know if you've ever been at the park with one of your kids and maybe one of your kids was doing something and was about to fall off of the side of the park structure and there was a parent there who catches your kid or keeps them from falling off, right? And you rush over and deep in your body, you feel this deep sense of gratitude. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. We've all had moments like that in our life where somebody really helps us or saves us or does a favor for us that's just so meaningful. And we can imagine what that feels like in our body. And so I want you to know that expressing gratitude starts intellectually in your brain, but if it just stays there and it never goes below your neck, if you don't feel the gratitude in your body, it won't be as powerful as what these books are describing. But when you really allow it to sink in, when you really allow yourself to just sit in the awe and wonder of your life. For me, one of the ways that I tap into this is I think about who me 10 years ago or 20 years ago, what she would think about what I'm doing right now. And usually that brings up this deep sense of like, wow, we've come so far. God is so good. If I go back 10 years ago, I think I only had one daughter and I had been married less than 2 years. And I was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't really have any other form of work at that point. I was messing around with a camera. I was trying to play around with photography, but I wasn't really selling anything, and I wasn't podcasting yet. And I just think, wow, I could cry just thinking about what God had in store for me. And now I have these 6 kids and they drive me bananas, you guys. So I want you to know those feelings can exist at the same time where they're just like drive me bananas. And I just love them so much. And I'm so happy that God knew what I needed. And 10 years ago, me couldn't have imagined that my husband would leave Intel and we would move to Idaho. I didn't even know. Idaho wasn't on my radar at all back then. And not only did we move to Boise first, but then we moved to northern Idaho in the middle of nowhere. I didn't see any of that. And so that is what real deep gratitude feels like. And then when you spend time there, that's what begins to change your life. So I agree that expressing gratitude and maybe even having a gratitude journal is very powerful, but I'll tell you, it only works, or it works much, much more powerfully when you feel the gratefulness in your body, right? Because if you're thinking about electricity or clean water, right? And you're like, well, I mean, at least you have clean water. If you're not feeling really grateful about that, it's not going to improve your life a ton, just to think about it. But if you want, you could Google some information about clean drinking water, and you could look at some pictures of places that do not have clean drinking water, and then you might feel a deep gratitude for that. And I think having that deep gratitude really brings us close to the Lord, because all good things come from Him. And the more we are grateful for what is around us, the more we put our trust in Him, because we see how incredible it is that He pulled all of these things around us, that He's led us to this moment, that He's crafted this life for us. It's not an accident. So if having a gratitude practice hasn't been powerful before for you, I want you to try it again. But anything you write down or anything you think about, keep thinking about it until you actually feel grateful in your body. That it goes, below your neck. It's not just a thought in your mind. It goes below your neck into your body and you feel grateful. Then see how that practice changes your life. Thank you so much for listening, and have a blessed day.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Catholic Mom Mindset. To learn more about growing closer to the Holy Spirit, check out our free resources at madeforgreatness.co. Thank you so much for listening, and have a blessed day.